Welcome to Open Progress's first ever podcast, Time Out with TextTroop.
We are so happy to have you all tuning in. This podcast will keep you up to date with everything related to TextTroop, Open Progress, and the pure texting world.
First, we'd like to introduce ourselves.
I am Abigail Parrott. I'm going into my first year of studies at the University of Warsaw in Warsaw, Poland. I study international relations and paralegal studies, and I am originally from Kingston, New Hampshire.
And my name is Sydney Jenkins. I'm going into my fourth year at Howard University, where I study criminology and political science. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And we are digital organizing fellows.
So this means we're responsible for helping run TextTroop. We help answer volunteer questions over on our Slack in our Text Here channel. We help moderate and we help send out all of those texts. We also work on cool projects that promote volunteer engagement.
So what is Open Progress / TextTroop? Open Progress is committed to starting the conversation. We envision an America that talks with each other, not at each other, to provide sustainable long-term progress.
We knock on Americans' new digital front doors one text at a time. We lay out the long-term groundwork that impacts millions of Americans for a more just, equitable, and progressive America.
So we have a few goals of the podcast. Each week we will focus on a different topic related to current topics of the country and the entire world.
During this podcast, we hope to discuss things that truly matter. Our ultimate goal is to create an informed, open progress and TextTroop community.
Please reach out to us in the channels if you have any questions or concerns. And for today, we would like to give you all a brief summary of how TextTroop works and who the amazing people are that help make everything run smoothly.
All of the people that I'm about to mention, you've probably seen them in our channels. But to start, Chris is a senior organizer. He manages TextTroop along with digital organizers, and he's in charge of our interns and the schedule for TextTroop. Destiny and Alejandro are digital organizers. They manage TextTroop channels on a daily basis and serve as channel leads. They also help behind the scenes to make sure that TextTroop operates at its best.
As for our fabulous volunteer leaders, we have roughly 83 leaders who help with everything from answering questions in Text Here to moderating and reviewing volunteer texts.
So what is moderating? If you ever wonder who are the people that are on the other side of the amazing feedback that you receive after you request a batch, those are our moderators. They work very hard to make sure that our volunteers send the best text possible.
We have some exciting news. This week, our fabulous volunteers sent over 150,000 texts in 8 hours, closing out our North Carolina C4 Rape Kit Mail Amplification Program.
Did you also know that there are different texter levels? While most of our amazing volunteers were crushing text in North Carolina last week, we also had our highest level of texters, which are known as our pros, texting in a California immigration Deep ID campaign.
Deep ID campaigns are focused on fingerprinting voters on a specific issue to figure out how voters feel about it, how solid that feeling is, and how the issue impacts the way that they vote.
We text in 7 different types of programs. We already covered Deep ID, but there's also engagement, listening, persuasion, early vote, ballot chase, and GOT-V.
Engagement is an invite to likely supporters to engage with the campaign by opting into updates and volunteering. Listening is learning what matters most to voters and sharing the candidate positions on those issues. Persuasion is persuading voters to support a candidate.
Early vote ID supporters and encourages them to vote early. Ballot chase encourages voters to return their absentee ballots. And GOT-V sends text to get the message out about voting for each candidate on election day.
We want to hear from you. Without our beloved volunteers, TextTroop would not be possible.
So be on the lookout for a survey, which we'll send that will ask you all what you want to hear about in our next podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
And have a great day.